So obviously, as a massive Richmond fan, the 2024 AFL draft has got me particularly interested. Obviously, because the Tigers, for some reason, decided to just cook and trade for 812 picks in the first round. And it got me kind of thinking, you know, who are the Tigers going to be drafting with these picks? And then I kind of searched it up, and there's not really anyone online talking about this. Like, I searched it up on YouTube, no videos. I searched it up on bloody Pornhub, no videos. I could seriously not believe it. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to be the first kid to put their time and effort into giving you guys a semi-detailed analysis that is probably better than anything Dermot Burton has done in his commentary career for you guys about the Richmond Football Club and the players I think they could be selecting at their picks. Now, again, before we do get into all of that and more, if you haven't already, there is still a decent amount of you guys who watch these videos who are not yet subscribed to the channel. So, you know, if you're an AFL fan or a very cute, sexy, patootie, I would let you touch me without consent, Richmond fan, then you know what you guys gotta do. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But I guess, shit, I was gonna get into pick one, but I'm just gonna have a cardiac arrest over here. Too much Mexican food, bro. I need to lay off the Taco Bill. I guess without further ado, we'll go over with the first overall pick and look at, obviously, the three most likely candidates. There's Jagger Smith out of Oakley, as well as Finn O'Sullivan out of Oakley, and the guy who has really jumped up to the pick number one favorite is Sam Lawler from the Greater Western Victoria Rebels, who I do believe the Tigers will select, the 187 centimeter inside midfielder slash forward, who is probably the closest thing to Dustin Martin that we have generally ever seen in the draft. Again, he is absolutely insane. I think if you guys have a spare moment of your time, whether that's, you know, just deciding to not go and pick up your kids one day at school, go and watch this bloke's highlights on YouTube, because there's some seriously special stuff here that will make you rise from the underwear section. Go and do that. He, I think, will be pick one at this rate. I think the Tigers would really like to have him. And again, if you don't want him, Jagger Smith is a prolific inside midfielding ball winner who the Tigers would love. Finn O'Sullivan, not as much as a ball winner, but is probably a bit better than both of these players by his foot skills. Also much athletic and has really good agility as well. Any of those guys I think Richmond would love at pick one. Now with the sixth overall pick, there's definitely a couple candidates. Jagger Smith, who I previously mentioned, has been said could fall down to this pick in recent times. Probably not. You've also got Josh Smiley there, the 194 centimeter inside midfielder, who has been compared to Patrick Cripps now, who I think the Tigers would really be looking at potentially drafting too, and at one stage was ranked pick number one. But the guy I most likely think the Tigers will select at number 6 does happen to be Harry Armstrong, who is ranked as the number one key forward in this draft class out of Sandringham. 195 centimeter key forward who's extremely athletic. I think the Tigers will very much look at. And, you know, for the longest time, I've been sitting here and I've just been thinking the Tigers are going to go with a midfielder at this pick. But more and more, like, I thought about it, I was just thinking that why would Richmond, a team who's got, like, Jacob Kosicki as their number one key forward half the time, and Tom Lynch and Lafau injured, why would they see the best available key forward in this draft class and let another team take him? Again, I know he's ranked like 10, but a team's probably going to take him at 8 or 9. So with pick 6, why would Richmond be sitting there and just thinking, nah, we're going to let the best key forward go to another team? I think they will reach, and I think they will probably draft him at this pick. Now, as far as 10 and 11 goes, there's a couple of different players here. First of all, Xavier Lindsay is a inside midfielder who some believe is a top 5 best player in this draft class, but unfortunately suffered a PCL injury that ruined most of his season and wasn't able to fit into the combine due to hip injuries. Again, a young player's career who is so far being derailed by injuries and is ranked about 16th now. I think the Tigers will look at him at about 10 and 11 because they desperately need to add to their midfield. You've also got Joe Berry there who, again, the Tigers need to add to a lot of things as well as what the small forward situation looks like. They really do need to add there, as Ryan Mansell was the only small forward that kicked over a goal a game. You know, Seth Campbell played a bit of wing here and there, while Stilly Green, he didn't do much, and Morris Rioli was injured for half the year. Joe Berry is arguably the best small forward in the game. You've also got Job Shanahan, a key forward who some people believe is the best key forward in this draft class. He did actually kick 5 goals for the Essendon Football Club in the VFL against obviously full-grown men and full competition, which is a really interesting thing. If Richmond really do want to make a splashy, they could just be like, look, we're going to get the best and the second best key forward in this draft class. But I think they will for sure be looking at both of them at this pick. Again, I don't think he will fall there to 10 and 11, but I mean, Murphy Reid is a guy Richmond will be looking at, a inside midfielder who is not necessarily the clearance play, but more of the outside guy who plays that, you know, role that will get it off the guy getting the clearance and then will, of course, dispose of it using his prolific ball skills, is I think kind of how you sum up Murphy Reid. He can also go down forward as well. So I think they will look at those two guys at 10 and 11. Multiple guys, I should say. At pick 18, you know, as mentioned earlier, I don't think he'll fall this low, but Job Shanahan, he is arguably the second best key forward in the game. He should most likely be around this pick. You've also got Luke Traynor, who is the number 1 ranked key defender in this draft class, who could for sure go higher too, but he should be around that pick 18 type of mark. And considering, look, the Tigers do have Josh Gibcus's career right now is a little bit uncertain with all the injuries. Jacob Blight, we don't know enough about. Ben Miller is just an average key defender, I think. And then obviously Noah Bolter is a freak, but you still got to add to that. So maybe Richmond look at the key forward position and maybe key defender position here. With the 20th overall pick, again, there's still a couple of tools that the Tigers could look at. You've actually got Jack and Matt Whitlock, the two twins, of course, Jack being 200 centimeters tall and Matt Whitlock being 199 centimeters tall. Again, both of them are key forwards, but Matt Whitlock can actually play key back as well. Again, I think for a team who's going to be looking to add some keys in this draft, I think they will take one pretty high in probably Harry Armstrong, but they're going to be looking for that number 2 in terms of the key forwards, and I think a Whitlock brother could very well be joining the team and being that 200 centimeter like Tom Lynch type of role that they're probably going to be needing replacing very soon, considering Lynch is injured half the games. Again, the Tigers also have 23 and 24, and I think they'll look at going with some midfielders at this pick. You've also got Cooper Hines in here, who's 190 centimeter inside midfielder who can also go and rest down forward. He did a lot of that with the Dandenong Stingrays, as well as Tom Gross, a 180 centimeter wing, which the Tigers might look at. They had probably the worst wings in 2024, but then found a lot of really good game towards the end of the year with Hugo Ralphsmith and Seth Campbell playing a lot better on those wings, but they may be looking to add to that. I think Tom Gross is a really interesting guy who actually trained with Richmond in the off-season, so he's already on their radar. Again, another Greater Western Victoria player here, but Oliver Hannaford, who is a 180 centimeter small forward, probably like the 3rd best ranked small forward in this draft class. If maybe Joe Berry gets taken up a little bit higher by a different team, I think the Tigers will still be scouting that small forward position. And with Isaac Keiko going to Essendon as a academy player, it really does lead them, you know, to now the next best option, Oliver Hannaford. He actually had 24 disposals, 9 tackles, and a goal in an impressive display to finish off his 2024 season. He kicked 21 goals in 9 games, which is obviously over 2 goals per game as well. So definitely can find the scoreboard and does have a knack to be able to potentially get a lot of the ball as well. Again, we saw players in previous drafts like Jack Higgins, who the knock on them was as a small forward, could they maybe go into the midfield or could they not? This is one of those players that I have the question mark over of. If he goes in the AFL, could he do some time in the midfield eventually to add some speed to the team and versatility? I really don't know. But again, a lot going on in the 2024 draft right now for Richmond. They could even be doing some pick swaps here and there, maybe moving up to pick 2 or whatever, like we've been hearing on Rumours on this channel. So a lot is definitely going on. That we'll have to wait and see how it all goes. If you haven't already, please obviously make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. For latest sports content and sports news, go and subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channels as well. Links for them will all be getting put in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.